What does it cost to completely build a car from start to finish at home? I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know. So I've made a mechanical section, which is everything that obviously gets the car running and driving and functioning. Then we have a section for paint body work on the exterior. So that's all your paints and your sandpapers and stuff. Then I have a section for the interior parts and pieces that I bought and the paint. We've also painted the underbody on the car. Then I made a section for all of the exterior parts that I bought. I feel like that's a good way to separate the sections. So under the mechanical, we had to replace the fuel pump, which was the very first thing I bought when I got the car, trying to get it started, realizing the fuel pump was dead. $67 there. I also bought a Haynes manual for the car, which is a book that shows you how to operate pretty much every section of the car and how to put things back together and pull them apart. That was $48. I bought a whole box of random secondhand but brand new VL parts off a mate who just finished refurbishing their VL and they smashed it and they pulled all the parts off. That was $245. Come with like an ignition coil, what's the harmonic balancer, position sound, I don't know, all these random parts, and I'm like, yeah, I'll probably need something from there, so my mate sold it to me. We had to replace the engine and the gearbox in this car, which was $1,500. I was scouring the internet for ages, and one of my mates tagged me in and said, you know, that's super cheap, and it ended up being a really good bargain because the engine was recently rebuilt. The previous owner said 100,000 Ks. It was rebuilt, and the Welsh plugs and everything look fairly new, so I'm pretty sure they were being honest about that, and it runs flawlessly. The car is undergoing a brand new exhaust at the moment, so it's getting a whole new system done at Sharp Exhaust. Some of you guys may know Sharp Exhaust. They do a lot of high-end Commodores. So the car's there at the moment. We're picking it up tomorrow with its brand new refresh exhaust, which we'll show you in an upcoming video. That is going to cost $700. That's the quote I got on the phone. It could fluctuate from that. We have replaced the firewall heater hoses. They were old and leaking a little bit, so Reese from Reese Garage, who I very, very fortunately got in there last week to have him go over the whole car, and he's replaced everything that he thinks needed to be done, and the firewall heater hoses was one of those things because they were dripping slightly and they were $173 to replace and fit. Thomas and I replaced the rear shocks in the car. So originally the car had some kind of air ride suspension that you can pump up and lower down, and they actually got stuck on the raised position. We were trying to release air and nothing was happening, so we just got rid of those and put in some lowered shocks. They were $95. We had to buy a manifold stud kit for the extractors when they went back on. We did break off a few bolts into the block, which we then later drilled out and tapped and bought this stud kit. I replaced the overflow bottle with a brand new one because the old one was yellow and yucky and dirty, so that was $129. Airflow sensor plug. Yeah, so the airflow meter sensor plug was replaced as well. That was $20. Reese picked up to the tail shaft center bearing needed to be replaced, so that was $172. And he also did a full complete service on the car with Penrite 15W60 oil, and that was $172 as well. He also did the left-hand power steering boot, $27, and he's replaced the transcooler hose, $27. Let me just put this pop filter on here because I feel like it's going to reduce the pop. All right, now over to the paint and bodywork, which was all done at home. So if you guys are thinking about doing something like this to your car at home, this will tell you whether it's either feasible to do it. If you take your car to a panel shop and get done what I've done, it's going to be costing you between 10 and 20 grand easily, depending on how bad rust is on your car and how good of a finish you want done. So the base coat in the Venetian red, we bought a Lessenol base coat, which is one of the very well-known brands of base coat. That was $620 for 4 liters of that. We bought a liter of MX Grey for $150. We also had to buy the clear coat kit, which came to $266. The Bingle key clit. I've used that at key clit. I bought that a few times actually. The clear coat kit from Bingle. You guys seen the gloss? It looks pretty good. We bought a brand new spray. We bought a brand new HVLP spray gun, which was $220. We bought some 3M fine body filler, the premium one, which is really easy to sand. That was $97. We bought an epoxy primer kit for the undercoating. That was $114. So that is the layer of primer that goes on the bare metal. And then on top of that, you spray the high fill which is like another primer that builds it up, which gives you a little bit of a surface to sand down. Like if there's any little stone chips or imperfections and stuff, it'll fill that in, and then you block sand that back to make it as smooth as you can. That was the high fill kit, was $175 for 4 liters. We also had to buy thinners to use in these products, the base coat to thin it out, and you have to use a 2K or 2-pack thinner, which is quite expensive, $104 for that. We also had to buy a mask to use while we're painting, a proper mask, not just like a COVID one, a surgical one, like a proper one with filters and everything in it. That is $108. A whole bunch of mixing cups as well to mix all the stuff into the correct ratios. I'm believing that would have cost about $20 for all the cups we used. You can just use Milo tins and stuff, but these cups are just easy. They got measurements on the side and you can throw them away. 4 liters of paint stripper, looking at $69 there. We got sandpaper, approximately $200 worth. So there's all different grits we used, all the way from 240 all the way down to 3000 when we're doing the buff. So I did a rough guesstimation. I did buy some of the sandpapers in bulk, like in literally boxes of 100 or boxes of 50. So, because I know I'm going to use them again for future projects and builds, so it's cheaper and when you buy them in bulk. And also there's nothing worse than you'll run out of some kind of sandpaper and you need to go down to the shops, drive down, park up, sit in traffic, go in. That just makes everything inefficient. So I just like to have everything on hand. It does cost you more money in the short term to do that kind of stuff, but it'll pay off in the long term if you're doing multiple projects. We had to buy a front guard, so that I found on Marketplace for $100 because we had that big dint in ours. We had paint stripping discs and wire wheels. So even after using the paint stripper, we still had to continue to use these paint stripping discs and wire wheels to just get in the nooks and crannies and tidy things up. Wax and grease remover, that is for preparing the surfaces before painting, because sometimes, you know, there might be a little bit of paint stripper left on there, or you've touched it with your oily finger or whatever, so you gotta use that to wipe down the car. Then we got drop sheets, probably about $50 worth of drop sheets throughout the process. So the car was epoxy primed and then high filled and then painted and then buffed, and it was actually masked up and unmasked again like a few different times. So there was at least $50 in plastic drop sheets there. We also bought guide coat, which is the black stuff that you put on the primer before you sand it to show where the high and low spots are. So the proper 3M guide coat kit was $60. We bought packets and packets of microfiber towels, roughly around $100 worth. That was just for applying the wax and grease remover and using it when we're buffing and all that kind of stuff. Probably about $100 in masking tape, $100 in polishing pads when we're buffing the car. Then we got another $115 for a bottle of compound, and then another $94 for a bottle of polish. And we also have another, which I haven't included on here, another $200 in ceramic coating. So, you know, I have a couple of people reach out to me asking for paint jobs and be like, how much do you charge and can you do a paint job and blah, 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 blah. And I give them a bit of a quote. I'm not taking on jobs at the moment, but maybe next year, 2025, when we get a proper shop, I'll be taking on some customer work. I've had a panel shop reach out to me that said, hey, you can come here and use our booth, which is amazing. Thank you very much. But, you know, this guy said to me the other day, oh, how much would you charge to paint a car? And I said, look, it depends on the state of what your car's in. Obviously, if your car's nearly perfect paint, then it costs less to do it because obviously the damage is not as bad. If you want a proper job that's going to last many years to come, even if the clear's peeling, they say to bare metal it down to nothing and start again to just prevent that risk of it flaking up again. Contaminants can get all the way through the metal. So this guy the other day said to me, oh, my mate quoted me $800 for a paint job. What do you think the finish should be like? And I just think, honestly, that's a fucking dumb question. Like, I don't know that guy. I don't know who he is. There's that guy who does paint jobs for 2-3. A lot of people are happy with that. I'd be pretty interested to get one of those on the channel and do a bit of a review and get up close and personal, and or talk to someone who's had that paint job after 2 or 3 years to see what it's like. Maybe they're good, maybe some are good, maybe they're not. My brother had his bonnet painted by that guy. I mean, nothing against him or his service. I'm not trying to diss his service. He does a really good job. However, my brother's bonnet, which he painted, it did flake off a little bit in the center of it. Some people say you pay for what you get. Yeah, moving on to the interior, I had to buy a rear seat bottom because this car was missing a rear seat bottom, so I found one of those on Marketplace for $100. I got so lucky with the steering wheel, so I didn't know what to do with the steering wheel. I thought I may have put one of those Momo, like the old school Momo style ones on. That look pretty cool. A lot of the guys upgrade to them, but then I thought there's nothing better than putting like an original one on. So scouring Marketplace, you know, usually you see them for $450 or more, and I found one for $100 in sandalwood too, which I ended up painting later on, which looks great, looks fine. I found an original radio which I've put in the car. We've wired up, but unfortunately it's not working. I'm hoping to get it working. Not sure if it works or not. For $100 it looks good. We had to buy a lock and barrel set, so the ignition barrel set in the car didn't come with a key or anything, and I thought it needs, obviously the car needs a key and door locks and stuff like that, so I bought a lock and barrel set from Rare Spares, which was $175. We got the Holden Driving Future sticker for the back window, as the original comes out from factory bro, so that was $22. I bought the turbo badge for the interior, because surely someone's going to turbo this car eventually, and at least that's done. You know, the little turbo badge that's on the dash. I do like the look of that. Paint for the interior, so I had to get 3 different cans made up. So the interior actually has 2 different colors of sandalwood, a lighter and a darker version. So the door trims and some of the scuff panels and stuff are like a light sandalwood color, but then the dash and the center console, the steering wheel is like a darker. The guy did mix mine slightly lighter. Doesn't really faze me. It actually looks nice and neat how everything matches, but the door trims are slightly different to the dash. So we got 3 cans of that. I think they were roughly $45 each, so we put down $135 for that paint. We also got degreaser, which was used on the carpets along with like dishwashing liquid and stuff. You might have seen the video where I cleaned out the original carpet. Degreaser kit is $113. Obviously I didn't use that much degreaser, but I bought it in bulk so I can use it for future stuff like engine bays and underbody washes and stuff like that. I had to buy a steering column because the one that I had, the little rod was missing that controls the accessories and starter motor and the whole ignition system. The guy wouldn't separate the little rod that I needed, so bought the whole thing for $100. I had to buy a door trim, $50, and a rear seat belt that's not retracting, $50. So completely wire wheel brushed, underbody washed, and rust converted, primed, and painted in hammer finish underbody, which was $200. Then we got the exterior parts, so headlights for the pair with the indicators were $188. This was back at the start of COVID. I just jumped on them because I thought Rare Spares are going to stop making these. Price might have gone up now, but it was in my head that because that's when prices for stuff started going up, and I'm like, man, this stuff is not even going to be available anymore. So I bought it. Tail lights, $130. We bought the complete badge kit for the Turbo SL version, so I'm not going to put the badges on at the moment. I did put the front Holden badge on. I might put the electronic injection side ones on, maybe the Commodore rear. I might leave it completely blank and just give it to whoever wins the car will get the badge kit. That was $302 for the badge kit. It looks so cool when you have it on though. I feel like we can't put the turbo badge on until someone puts a turbo on the car, and the placing of the SL badge is different depending on whether it's turbo or NA, so you can't really put it on because then you have to pull it off, and it's annoying. So I'm just going to leave them off. Bumper molding, right hand rear. So yeah, the right hand rear of the bumper had some crack thing in it and had to be completely, I could have repaired it myself, but I thought by the time I spent a whole day trying to fix it, it's not going to be 100% strong anyway, so I just bought a new one, which was $80, and I had to paint it. Bought some brand new wheel nuts for the car because the original ones were just surface rusted and corroded and bubbling up. They just look ugly, so $33. Brand new turbo MX grey hubcaps on the car. They were $500. Bumper bar end. So bumper bar end. What the hell? $110. Oh, sorry, I said bumper molding before, but it was actually the little strip that goes on the top was missing on one of the rears. And then I had the bumper bar end, which was cracked. And I thought, instead of repairing that, I'll pay $110 and get a new one from Rare Spares. We bought a new aerial kit, $45. That's in. Front bumper molding, so that the long strip that goes in between the grille and the front bar, that was cracked when I had the car. So new one of those, $80. Somewhere along the lines, the grill got broken. It wasn't me. I don't remember it breaking, unfortunately. So I had to buy an $80 grill because I didn't, one of the little, I think I've got it here somewhere. Yeah, see the grill. See how that side's got the little tab? It's not going to focus because of my face. Yeah, see it's got that little thing sticking up. This side doesn't have it. So it's actually hardly noticeable from the front, but I was like $80. Fix that up. Sorry, $60 for the grill. Bumper fascia fitting kit. So the front bumper's mounted to like this big metal piece. So I got the fitting kit for that. Got a brand new front windscreen. So, oh my God. So the front, it's brand new front windscreen. So Ryan from RJ Autoglass came out and removed the window when we were stripping the paint off the car. We took the windscreen out because it was bubbling a little bit around it. So we took it out properly, cleaned it all up, and then once the car was painted and all good, he came back and fitted a brand new windscreen into the front. He also removed the rear one for us and refitted that. So with the new screen and fitting it, he charged $285, which I think is amazing value. I also had to buy the windscreen mold kit. So my car, the windscreen had never been out before, was the original one. Comes with the old style molding kit, which is one of the reasons why they rust. That's what the windscreen guy told me. Changed it over to the new style. Yes, it's not original anymore, but way less chance of it rusting up again. And then I got a brand new rear rubber seal as well from Holdcom Auto Parts, which was $122. Alright, so I have a breakdown of each category. So mechanically in total I've spent $3,427 for all the paint, polishes, clear coats, the front guard, all the accessories that come with it, mask, drop sheets, guide, all that stuff. $3,000, well $2,994. When it comes to the interior, we spent $980. That's for the steering wheel, the seat base, the paint, the degrees of the steering column, the door trim, rear seat belt. Underbody was approximately $200. And then the exterior parts and accessories, we spent $2,089. The car in total with the tow and after selling the rims was $2,675, which sounds like a pretty good deal if you think, oh yeah, I got a VL for that amount of money. However, I've estimated roughly around 400 hours of labor, which is about 10 weeks of work, 40-hour weeks. Does that make sense? I don't know if that actually adds up. And there was a lot involved. I mean, there's all the times I've washed the car. There's all the time we spent like pulling the motor out, going to pick the motor up, bringing it home, getting on the crane, pulling the old engine out, like getting rid of the old engine, you know, figuring out wiring. Some of the things like took a while. I'm just doing a guesstimation. Maybe I can go through every single process that we did. And that's something I'd like to do better on the next project, is actually document exactly how much time we're spending doing certain things. Something small like, you know, figuring out why reverse lights aren't working. Can take hours sometimes if you can't find it. You just have to keep going, keep checking wiring looms, maybe wait to get an auto like out. He can't figure it out. Like, so let's just say if the hourly rate was $35 an hour, which is it's what most people get paid per hour, the lower skilled jobs. The labor involved was $14,300. So the total cost, I said before, of all the parts all up was roughly 12 grand. That's including the car and all the paint and all the accessories, the new engine and all that, 12 grand. I mean, really, if you just went out and found a fairly clean VL for 12 grand that maybe just needed a quick paint job and no interior work, no mechanical work, that would be the better option. However, sometimes if you don't have all the money in one hit, it's better to just get the cheaper car, then slowly work on it and build it up. For me, I just love restoring things. I love the process of it. I love filming it. I love looking at the crazy before and after photos. As I said when I first got the car, on the very first video, I'm like, I'm glad it looks like shit because I want the before and after to look good. And we're finally here. So in total, with the rough estimation of the labor cost, which it could have been more, could have been less, I reckon it's probably more, we are looking at just under $27,000. You can go and find you can find a nice VL turbo for that, which is what this car is now. It's not a turbo, but you can go find a nice VL for 27 grand, or you can go buy an XR6 turbo, or you could buy something different. As I said before, I didn't do this project because I wanted a clean VL at the end of it. I did it for the journey, the experience. I mean, so many hours out there in the shed working on my own and with mates, quality times with my son, building our confidence up, ready for the next project and smash it out. I had this random idea yesterday because we're giving this car away. We've had so much interest in it already. I appreciate you guys for entering the draw, and good luck to all of you. The right person win the car and get to enjoy it for its future. If someone from Tassie, New South Wales or Queensland wins the car, I'm going to personally deliver it myself. However, if someone in Perth or Northern Territory wins it, I'm probably going to get it shipped out there. Maybe I'll fly over for the handover or something like that. Probably should, so I can film it and get the person's reaction. But I don't want to drive it to Perth because I think there's dirt roads and stuff on the way, and probably deliver the car with like 1 million stone chips on the front. Oh my god. But yeah, I had this idea, and let me know what you guys think in the comments, to do a reverse giveaway where basically you enter, and what will happen is I will build the car that you want. So I don't have the car yet, but you enter the giveaway. I draw the giveaway. Whoever wins gets, say, a budget of $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I don't know. We've got to figure that out. And then you can say, hey, I want a Ford Falcon, EB, but I want it to be barrel swapped, and I want it to be like canary yellow and whatever. Then we'll build that. There's obviously a budget we've got to stick to, and we'll have like a planning session before we get started, whoever the winner is, and build your dream car. I'm like, that's so much more fun. And then everyone can enter because everyone has like a combo that they want. Maybe you want a VL, but you want like that ocean blue color, and you want it to be like a 5-liter V8. Maybe we can make that work. We'll source an engine. Maybe you want an LS, swap it, whatever. We'll just do it. And then we'll film the whole thing on the channel and show the updates as we go. We might need 6 to 12 months to build it, but it'll be done the way you want, depending on the budget. Maybe you just want something super clean, like a bare metal paint job, and the engine to be stock. Maybe you want like an XY. Maybe you want, there's going to be certain criteria you got to stick to. I'm either thinking about doing like a Ford only one or a Holden only one, or maybe there'll be multiple. Maybe that'll be the future of the channel. That could be cool. Obviously, I want as many people to enjoy cars and go out and cruise and have fun with your family and friends and meet up, and hot summer nights meet up, go for a coffee, go for food with your friends, park the cars up. The cars are looking amazing. Go for a little cruise along the beach, go home. We're not promoting hooning at all. Promoting safe driving, cruising around, spending time in the shed, building our confidence, trying a few things out, painting a couple of things. And if you fuck it up, sand it back, go again. Give it a go. I'm all about giving it a go. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, you can support the channel by entering the giveaway for this VL Commodore. If not, feel free to subscribe if you want to watch more car content or be motivated to finish your project. Let's go. I hope you like this video, and we'll see you in the next one.